Now, the recipe for contact. There are two ways you can initiate contact, either by letter or by phone, depending on which one you feel more comfortable using. The more severe your breakup, the more I'd recommend a letter instead of a phone call. So judge for yourself which one would work best for your situation. First, you got to make sure you're ready for contact first. So you got to do that step before you even think about crafting your letter or planning your phone call. So some of the key elements I want to go into, these must be present in your message, are you've accepted the breakup. So you have to come across like, okay, the breakup's happened. You're not going to argue about it anymore or freak out about it. You're dealing with it. You're fine with it now. So, that has to be present. That has to come through very clearly in your message. Perhaps even the first line that you write or say. You're moving on. Now, when I say you're moving on, people freak out and think, oh no, if I say I'm moving on with my life, then my ex is just going to move on with theirs and not worry about me anymore. But the important thing is, if this is the first time you're saying you're moving on, this is great, because you want to give that impression that you're going on with your life. You don't actually have to say the exact words, I'm moving on, forget about me, or something like that. But just kind of hint at it that you're continuing on with your life, like your focus isn't all on your ex anymore. Going on the lines of moving on with your life, there is change in your life. So there's actually things going on in your life that you're looking forward to apart from your ex or your relationship. This is great. You want to show enthusiasm for those things, a passion. So if there's things you wanted to do in the past but you haven't been able to do, now is the perfect time to do it. Book that special hobby or event or activity that you've always wanted to try, or take a class. There are so many things that you could do or take up. So make that happen. Start booking it now, or making that phone call, and have that going on in the weekend, this weekend, next weekend, so you can say in your message, I'm really looking forward to this concert on the weekend. I'm really looking forward to doing this, or something I've always wanted to do. But the key here is to be vague. You don't want to give it all away. You want your ex to be guessing exactly what you're up to, but what you're excited about. So don't dwell on the breakup. You want to mention it, but show more of your excitement for moving on and having this new change in your life. So the last point, which I haven't really included, is to be brief. So often, like, we get into this mode. When we start writing, we just continue to write, and all these feelings pour out, and it's just intense. And you don't want it to be intense. You want it to be just brief and casual. So I would say no longer than 100 and 200 words long. And if it's going to be a phone call, make sure you cut it off at the 10-15 minute mark. So don't leave it hanging and make it stay on the phone, so it'll turn out awkward and everything. So learn to cut it off, and remember to be brief about what you say that is happening in your life. Even if they ask, just say, oh, it's nothing, or I'll tell you later, or whatever. But so many times people get caught up in wanting to say more and reveal more, but it's too early for that. That'll come later. Right now, just be brief and vague. A lot of times, don't be surprised if you don't hear from your ex straight away, or they weren't very pleasant to talk to on the phone. But perhaps it was the opposite. Perhaps your ex will call you back straight away, or they'll respond really positively to your message. The point is, you want to give your ex space and time to absorb the letter or phone call. So I wouldn't be expecting a response straight away, or or a phone call back. But I mean, if they give you a phone call back, that's great. But it's not important, because right now they need to kind of digest it and figure it out what they're going to do in their own head. So give them time, basically. So the key is not to focus on whether your ex is called or not called or contacted or not. Don't focus on that. Focus on something else, because if you keep looking at that clock, it's going to go much slower. So don't focus on what's not happening. Focus on what is happening or not in your life and what you are looking forward to, because that will make the time go a lot faster and you'll enjoy your experience more. And when your ex does call or contact, it'll be a nice, pleasant surprise, and you're not going to be thinking, oh, how come they took so long to respond, and all that sort of, and stressing and worrying about nothing. It's a really good idea to keep in mind what your true intentions are when you're having this kind of awkward interaction with an ex post breakup. Your true intentions isn't to manipulate or play mind games or trick your ex into contacting you, talking to you, and on all the rest of it. Your intentions are, you want to give your ex the love they deserve, or the relationship they deserve, and the one you deserve, and you want to work on the relationship together and help fix things together. And that must come across in the way you interact with them. I don't mean to be in their face and being I love you all the time. I don't mean that, because that is not your true intentions. You don't want to be smothering. Smothering is one of the biggest reasons people leave a relationship, because they feel trapped and they feel they don't have any space. You want to just kind of love them, but love them no matter what they do, who they're with, what they're doing. So your aim is to love unconditionally and be at peace with whatever it is they're doing in their life. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect them as a person. You still love them as a person, and just be at peace with that. And once you're at peace with that, and you can kind of go on with your own life. I mean, not necessarily completely move on, but just kind of accept the way things are at the moment, and you'll see that it makes interacting with your ex a lot smoother. It'll go a lot better, easier, and things will come out, and you'll instinctively know the right things to say. You won't always be worried about, oh, should I say this, or will I hurt their feelings? I mean, you don't want to be worried about that stuff. Just know your true intentions and be yourself. Love them no matter what they're doing, who they're with, all that junk. And just the last point is just to be honest. If this is how you feel, this is how you feel, and not to be scared of revealing the true you. Now, before I leave you, I just want to strongly remind you that there are certain things I had to leave out of the video to keep it short, and it's actually gone on a lot longer than I intended it to. So to get the full version, the full description, explanation of all the points I've laid out for you today, please go and click on the link below this video or to the right of this video if you're viewing it on YouTube. And it's actually a chapter, a little preview from my book, The Ex Recovery System. And inside it'll reveal, all the points are laid out plus more. So please don't just use these points in the video by itself, because there were things I had to leave out. And as a little bonus, at the end of that report, there's also a quiz that'll show you if you are ready, if you're in that unsure stage. So please check it out. Go and download it right now. Thank you.